It's time for video game flash fiction. A time when we select one of these Atari 2600 games, slot it into the console. We go ahead and play the game and hopefully it inspires us to create a flash fiction story within 90 minutes. Without further ado, because the time is starting right now to be able to create this flash fiction story within 90 minutes, original content, no intellectual property. Here is the rows. We got columns. Let's go 6 columns. We got the 5th column, this one here, and then we've got a 10-sided dice, 1 at the bottom, 3 up. What is our 3 up? Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back. Wow, this will be a fun one to write around. But let's not, waste time talking about it. Might be fun, might be interesting. Let's go ahead and dig to it, slot it in, and see if it works. All right, well, Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. Wow, this will be an interesting one to try to write a story around and not run into intellectual property rights. Oh my. It at least has the fun sound of the Star Wars. Never played. I've tested this game. I've tested all these games, but I've not played all these games. And by testing, I put them in the slot, I turned them on, and just made sure they sort of worked. Let's go ahead and see what Return of the Jedi has to offer these days for us. As an Atari 2600 video game, and what the hell's the story? I don't know. Let's go ahead and reset. All right, I'm assuming I'm a snow speed. Whoa, yeah, there's a big walking thing that can shoot at me. I mean, I'm shooting something, but to no effect. Maybe did I destroy the thing? What's going on? Why does it turn blue? Okay, I died. Okay, so I'm flying around in a thing that's shooting at things that can shoot. Look like dogs, maybe camels. Maybe this is maybe that's the spit. Don't camels spit? Oh, let's get a little too ridiculous. I don't even I'm trying to separate my mind from what Empire Strikes Back Star Wars is as a game. So we got Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back as the title of the story. Oh boy. This one will never be published after this, but whatever. I don't know exactly. I'm I don't even know how to. Oh my god, is there a way to. I touch it and it bounce off. And they turn blue at some point. I don't get that. They turn colors. How do I even defeat. I mean, if I remember the movie right, you kind of shot out a little harpoon and wrapped its. Maybe I gotta see. There's that little light there at the bottom there. I don't. It's like I'm a little gnat, like I'm a fly on a horse or something. Like if I just picked up this game and started playing it, I would probably not even understand that this is a giant walking machine. And the Empire Striking Back, who would that be? Corporation, of course. Okay, well, I'm dead. Well, let's try to do something with this story. I don't know what that something is because this is. These are one of the more difficult ones when you have some sort of name that is going to encroach upon intellectual property rights, or at least in my case, to hell with the intellectual property rights. I'm doing this creatively, so I got at least an artistic license for this. May not be able to put these in words because the Empire Strikes Star Wars is a registered trademark, but I can put it here in words. And I'm going to, because there's lots of stars and there's lots of wars within Atari games. I don't know how many. The Empire Strikes Back? The Empire. And I guess I can't use a colon, so I'm just going to use a dash for the name. The Empire. This is going to be hard because I got like a name called The Empire Strikes Back. How am I going to work that into the story? And we'll find out. So, yeah, that's it. We got an hour and 24 minutes to figure out a story for this game that looks like I could think. I'm just thinking, not making it about a giant walking machine, but a walking machine. Maybe those like robot dogs. God, what the hell are those? Boston Dynamic dogs. That's right. Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. And naturally, you destroy the big. Well, I can't think of that. So, The Empire Strikes Back. Welcome to riding around. Control A. Let's vim it. There we are. Okay, Empire Strikes Back. Okay, so there's obviously just one objective: is you're in a thing that in the movie is a snow speeder flying around big walking machines called AT-ATs. That doesn't exist here. So in this case, maybe these slow lumbering things are crazy cows, lumbering like zombies through Wyoming. Those some Rocky Mountains, Colorado, Utah, maybe. At least the ones, places I'm used to. Got to fictionalize with what I got. And definitely some pretty colors. I'm not going to say I much enjoyed the gameplay. I don't understand the gameplay. I do have the actual instruction booklet, but you know what? That doesn't exist for this story. This is a story about. I keep on going back to a camel. What are you trying to do, though? You're trying to shoot it? Like maybe you play the fly and you're trying to like get close to its eye. But then you have something called Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. Fuck. That's hard. In a flash fiction story, and I got an hour and 22 minutes. So what's our conflict? What's our protagonist, our antagonist? Maybe clean eyes. Maybe just wanting clean eyes. I think I'm coming back to like, how am I going to get the shooting out of the mouth? I mean, not to mention the title Star Wars. How am I going to work that into it without making it about a snow speeder and a AT-AT? Well, I guess this is not. It's so much easier when you don't have to unwrite or write around something as specific like that. It's so stuck in people's minds. I'd like to go well, if it's war, then I can't have some like fly trying to, some sort of machine that cleans. I'm thinking right now that this thing is a camel walking through a desert, because I think camels can actually spit, and that's what I'm thinking. And then this would be a little machine that tries to like maybe help the camel get rid of the eyes. It's not making sense. So I like that to be a camel, but it's not going to be a camel. My second thought is I confused and lost. Star Wars. I got to have it about war. The Boston Dynamic thing seems to be pretty good, lumbering through. Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. I'm trying to like the war in stars. Oh, hell, that's what I'll do. Why not? Okay. It's totally going to be like I'm coming from the perspective of the title first, and I don't know how this popped into my mind, but I do actively watch. I follow pop culture. I also follow writers. I'm very aware there is currently a writer strike going on against demand because they don't want to pay writers to write. Everything you see on television, at least in the United States, most things you see in the United States are written by writers. I think all. And so maybe Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. Can I work that in there? Can this be about the writer strike somehow? Because Star Wars, hey, they write scripts to make stars be seen, meaning movie stars. The Empire being, the movie studios. But then how the hell is the mechanics working? Like, I kind of got something for the title, but that really makes no sense as far as writer strike. Maybe it just makes a really shitty movie. And that's what we're looking at here. And it's not called Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. It's called, let's try that. Oh, man. It'd be one of those meta stories that I've got. I'm going to have to do it. Like, it's much like video, what was it? Video pinball, Pac-Man, and Pong. I kind of go a little bit meta, deals with humans. So let's think of this. Let's go Star Wars is Star Wars. Because I'm thinking like movie star. Like but they're not necessarily against the writer's strike because they know if they fuck over the writers, they're not going to have any roles for them to play. Actor's not going to do it. So I think the stars would be for them. What time is it, man? I got nothing yet. I got something. I got conflict. The plot to the movie line. How can I work this in though? Because like if I saw this thing here, I'm so lost today. Oh, let's look at this game again. Can I do this about a writer strike? Let's just determine that right now. A very poor writer strike, meaning they didn't have enough content. And maybe they have to rely upon the stars to do these things, and that's what they don't understand. And then the empire would be, the movie studios, the producers, and the Star Wars would be the stars trying to write their own role because they don't have the writers. That's a little bit of an abstraction, but I'm being more inspired today by the name more so than the actual sights and sounds, but that's legit. The sights and sounds I can work into like the plot they're trying to write for the movie to show how not only are they unable to do it because they're not writers, maybe they try to like that whole myth about using the AI. Oh yeah, to write a movie, that's gonna be great. Be fucking lame and dumb. Very likely, other than an anomaly. Okay, so conflict would be. Let's just do it. Let's go on. We don't got much time. I got an hour. Let's try a conflict between the writer strike, the stars, between the writers and producers of the new movie. Camel, no, maybe, yes. Revenge of the, I think I like this. The new movie, and it was generated by AI. What's it gonna be called? It's gonna be like Camel. I would say Camel Joe, but then I'd be sued by the Philip Morris. Who the hell ever owns Camel cigarettes? The new movie, Camel and the Fly. Maybe. I'm gonna see that this camel does spit. So I kind of got that incorporated in. It'll be breaking the fourth wall a little bit or whatever, maybe. I don't know what the hell that, I mean, I know what the fourth wall is. And in this instance, the fourth wall is broke because this is really playing out a script that a set of producers and actors are getting together without the writers, trying to make a movie. And the Star Wars would be the two-star actors that think they're writers trying to write the script, maybe, and the producers loving it and not really caring as long as the stars are in it. But then the stars start conflicting with each other, creating the Star Wars. And then the Empire Strikes Back, of course, is the producers and the movie studios. Those are the Empire, and they're striking back at the writers. That's where I'm going to go with this. And then the movie will be about a camel and I don't know what the little thing flying around shooting at it is. I don't the camel, just because I think at least they're one of the animals that are big that can project something out of their mouth. So I'm just thinking it's like that camel spit. Oh, I could see some definitely really poor writing about maybe they I don't know, let's go with it. The Empire Strikes Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. And we got to call that out. Like, I'm going to try to call it out at least in the very first sentence. I got to define what the star is, what they're warring, and the empire. In the first sentence, so try. The conflict between, let's just say, the actors, the stars, and producers of the new movie Camel and the Fly, during the writer's strike. This could be fun. I like this. Okay, so conflict between the actors and producers of the new movie Camel and the Fly during a writer's strike, and I gotta call that out. So that's my basic overall idea. The stars being the actors, the war or the producers against. I got this. Between the actors and producers of the new movie Camel and the Fly during a writer's writer's strike. Well, it's strike back. The Empire Strikes Back. But the writers strikes back. Maybe the producer's striking back. Because the writers are striking. And we have strike back. Okay. So the conflict between the actors and producers in the new community. During a writer's strike. While the producers strike back during a writer's strike, the producers strike back by working with some actors, and I mean that non-gendered. Why add actresses when it's just like it's a different person? Working with some actors and a movie studio. Okay, that's to create a new movie without writers. Be that fandangled thing. Okay, that's a story, and we got what is this here? Let's set that right there. We got 1 hour and 11 minutes and 39 seconds left. Let's write this story. Star Wars. So I got to mention this entire title, at least in the first paragraph, to have it as a plot, because it's going to be a complicated plot, and I want this plot to go. It'd be a weird plot. Okay. Let's do it. I got to think of two actors. I don't want to think of too hard. So I usually do 1, 2 male, 3, 4 female, 5, 6 just genderless. I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to drop their gender just so I don't have to think about it even more. 5 genderless is 1, and then 3 female. Let's just do that. So we got the two actors. Let's do a male female. Let's just throw that balance out there. If I had a third, the third is of course going to be the producers, the studios. So movie star, and that's right, movie star Lauren Hanks. Let's lift some famous names so we can Hanks and what's William Bennett, William and just also maybe I guess to show a little bit of the nepotism that exists within Hollywood as well. Not that it's bad. I mean, I get it. You know, if you grew up with someone and they're your kid, you could probably find the right people to do what they need to do to act in their movie. Does it suck for everyone else who wants to be an actor? Yeah, of course it does, because it opens up less opportunities, less good opportunities, but I guess the people that earn it really do earn it. And some people don't, but hey, that's life. Anyway, sidetracked. Movie star Lauren Hanks and William Pitt shout at the producer of Camel and the Fly. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like I think the sounds are great on this game. It's fun. I know you're playing a snow speeder, but I think in the Fly, maybe the Bug, the Camel and the Bug, and maybe that could be like, the camels really hate these things, but they're trying to bug them. Why are they trying to bug them? To sneak them across the desert because they've got a puppet enemy propped up or something? I don't know. I think a good war movie is always draws in the crowd, so this is definitely be a war-based movie, but it's really going to be about the war between the two stars trying to fight with the Empire as they're striking back against the Riders. I like this. Movie star Lauren Hanks and William Pitt shout at the producer of The Big Camel Bug about whose dialogue should be included into the story. Do I want to make? Yeah, I'll make the actors and actors. Shout at the producer of Camel and the Bug about whose dialogue should be included into the story. After the writers went on strike. There we go. All right, we got a little bit of a war. We got Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. Went on strike, I guess, but then it's gonna look like, I guess I now have there is one strike, boom, and this is the producer striking back. The producer, who's Harlan. I got Harlan. I know I got Harlan Crow in my mind right now because I think he's bought Supreme Court justices. Was that Harlan Crow? I think so. U2 combine American Supreme Court justice. But let's think about this movie because U2 can make a shitty movie. Movie star Lauren Hanks and William Pitt shout at the producer. Who's the producer? One, it's going to be a Mel. The producer, Johnny Fasttime. Johnny Flick. of Camel and the Bug about whose dialogue should be included in the story after the Writers Guild in America went on strike. Whoa there, coffee. I can hear my stomach talking to me right now. And I should be talking to this. So movie star Lauren Hanks and William Pitt. Great. How does this end? I mean, the movie never ends. Like, I don't know. After rewrites, it ends by them paying the writers money. After delays, more fist fights. Johnny Flick, I might need to go cycle waters here. Pays the writers. Got an outline. Yay. All right, let me get these notes up here real quick because I should make a really interesting stream if I don't go and take a pause for 4 minutes here. Or at least 2. I will be unpaused in 1 moment. And there'll be more Empire striking back right now. We'll see how it flows and goes. Okay, after delays and fist fights. So it ends with Johnny Flick paying the writers because their movie sucks. Because they need people that actually knows how to write and tell a story and think of a story. And as much as maybe they even try to get AI involved, because I've heard stories about, I mean, that's been brought up too. Which is a real threat. No, it's not a threat. It's not a threat to me, at least. It could be a threat to some writers. I've got enough data I can actually use AI to train it to write like I do. So I've saved that information throughout my life. So movie star Lauren Hanks and William Pitt shouted at the producer Johnny Flick of Camel and the Bug about whose dialogue should be included in the story after the Writers Guild of America went on strike. Shouts of, I wrote this better, I wrote... And I wrote the Camel. I mean, I guess I technically don't need to even talk about the story too much because it could just be stupid as shit. And it'd be part of the plot line. And it is kind of ridiculous. So, and that way then I can have the striking back. So we have the striking writers. They are not the Empire. I wrote this new dialogue that's better. And be shouts of. I wrote the Camel has longer hair. And that the spying device can looks like a small spaceship. Shouts of filled producer's trailer. Morning and night. While creating the movie without writers. They strike on me, I'm striking at them. Okay, so I would just throw that out there. I'll be damned if I don't. Oh, I like that. I'll be damned if I don't strike them. I may have to move this around so I can get the The Empire, they strike on me. I'll be damned if I don't strike back on them and fuck up their movie. I don't need writers. And now the Star Wars is going to be between Johnny and Lauren and William. We've got to establish that the Empire is going to be Johnny Flick, so I got to say that. So Johnny Flick. So, fantastic. Johnny Flick shouts at both. Filled. Do I want to do... Let's do fills. Let's do present tense. Let's keep tense with that. So, fills the producer's trailer during coffee and stops when Johnny shouts. Okay, so that'd be... before the morning shoot. Johnny shouts at both. And I gotta put the they as the writers. The writers strike on me. Let's put plural of that because I pretend to be a writer at times. The writers strike on me. I'll be damned if I don't strike back on them. We don't need writers. Okay, so that sets up Star Wars. The Empire Strikes Back. The Empire being the producer. Producer Johnny Flick. Let's throw that title on there right there just to throw that out. I mean, I respect the hell out of the producers. The movie studios, movie studio producer. Maybe I could put the movie studio producer. Lot trailer before morning shoot. On the movie set. Let's put this a place. It doesn't look, it looks more deserty. I'm gonna maybe game it real quick just so I can get a sense of where I need to be here. Let's go ahead and reset it. I'm gonna look at this here. Okay, so it looks kind of, coldish. It could still be like, from my knowledge, Utah, Colorado. And you just like fly around. So this would be like the bug. And I'm trying to land on a camel and sneak through the terrorists line because you always got to have like some sort of existential and real terror. Like existential meaning it could take over everything, but real meaning it's actually happening. And so they've got these camels. They just got to avoid the camel spit. And I don't know what the hell, like I turn it blue, but then I die. And this game, what time is it? I got an hour and I got 54 minutes left, and I'm just going to try this one more time. Yeah, I can make a stupid movie of this. I think I already am. Okay. It's going to be in the places I know that have mountains and could be cold and could be... Why would they have cold mountains, though? Maybe that's the whole point, is that it just makes no sense. The story has no logic to it. So I'm going to go 1, 2, Colorado, 3, 4. Let's just go Utah. I know Utah. It gets snowy there. And there's flat plains. So that's where they're going to be at. It'll at least give some sense. I wonder if this game can just keep going and going and going. Nope. There's a time limit. for the Empire to strike back. And I think that's the game. So fills the movie studio producer's trailer before morning shoot on the movie set. Spread across the snow dusted and they could just act like it's in Afghanistan, I suppose, because they get snow. Lots of places get snow. So that could be snow dusted salt flats. I guess that's just it. This is a story. Let's make it. Where's the conflict? Okay, let's build this up to make it kind of enjoyable. I could sit here for the next 52 minutes and pat myself on the back for being witty, but I'm not. It's easy to be witty. It's a hell of a lot harder than to make it into an actual story that someone wants to care about. Such is the process of writing. Pain in the ass process. So producer Johnny Flick shouts at both. The writers strike on me. I'll be damned. I need an exclamation. The writers striked on me. The writers are striking. I'll be damned if I don't strike back on them. We don't need writers. Producer Johnny Flick. This will be the resolution of this current conflict. And that said, I don't think a lot of writers would be, I don't know, if I was an actor and writers run on strike, I probably would support the writers. They put the words in my mouth to be able to say on the screen and do what I need to do, act. Producer Johnny Flick shouts at both. The writers are on strike the writers are striking on me. I'll be damned if I don't strike back on them. We don't need writers. Producer Johnny sips his coffee and looks at the dawn as the crew sets up for the next scene of camels. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Maybe this is like a drone, a small drone that can actually like lead camels and herd camels. Because it's stupid as shit as a storyline, but if you got no writers. Okay, so I just got to think of something crazy and I can go with it. So producer Johnny sips his coffee and looks at the dawn crew set up the stage of the next scene. Of camels, of a herd of camels. I don't even know how to spell it. 2 M's. Yeah. Herd of camels. Guided by a fist-sized drone across the Afghan desert. Oh God. Yeah, I gotta have the whole plot right here, and then I can just go with the conflict. Sips his coffee and looks at the dawn glowing, illuminating the crew. As they set up while. I'm going to use while. I like the time difference. While the crew sets up for the next scene of a herd of camels guided by a fist drone across the Afghan desert. The next scene of a herd of camels. It doesn't make much sense, but I'm going to go continue on. Guided by a fist drone. A fist drone? That just something better. Guided by a drone across the Afghan desert to deliver a bomb to do they want to, like, this is not a peacekeeping mission, come on. People don't like peacekeeping missions. They don't want to, I mean, I love USAID, and there's large support for this. So I could either make it about delivering food or delivering bombs, which is more likely in today's society, delivering bombs. Because you'd have to have some sort of imagination about the food, you know, they just want explosions. Oh, shoot, to deliver bombs. And maybe that's the conflict. They want to deliver food. The other person wants to deliver bombs. No, they both like the bombs because it explodes. And it looks better on the scene. Maybe one wants the bombs and the other one wants the food, and then they fight about it. Producer Johnny sips his coffee and looks at the dawn illuminating the crew while the crew sets up. While the crew sets up for the next scene of a herd of camels guided by a drone across the Afghan desert to deliver bombs. To deliver a bomb. A dirty bomb. Oh, yeah. The legendary dirty bomb. Which is scary as shit, but still. It's legendary because it's brought up often. No one's ever done it yet. Someone will someday. That'll be a bad day for everyone. By a drone across the Afghan desert to deliver a dirty bomb into the camp of the leader of what is some really of the sickle, the scimitar, I don't know, Scimitar Nation. It doesn't have to be good. It's good to be bad. Okay. I don't need riders. Producer Johnny sips his coffee and looks at the dawn illuminating the crew while the crew sets up for the next scene of a herd of camels guided by a drone across the Afghan desert to deliver a dirty bomb into the camp of the leader of the Scimitar Nation. We got a good script. And maybe it's just the entire argument. Maybe that's all it needs to be. Like, it'll be a few arguments. It'll be one argument about, so I'm going to go back and rewrite this because I found a better way to write this plot. So the specific thing is they want the camels to deliver bombs or food, and that's where the conflict's going to arise. And they're going to talk about how food's too complicated. Delivering food requires backstory and sympathy. Delivering a bomb requires no explanation, less backstory, and a great finale. A clapping moment. You can have the argument between what they're going to deliver. Delivering food requires a backstory and sympathy. Delivering a bomb requires less backstory and has a great finale. A clapping moment. Finally, I don't know how to spell finale right now. A great ending with a big explosion. And a clapping moment. Because naturally, when you see a dirty bomb go off, you should inspire people to clap. That's just what you want to do. I'm just kidding. It's kind of fucked. Hey, it's Greg. How's it going? Yes. Good evening to you. Good afternoon. I guess it's good afternoon to you as well. So we got delivering food. How's it going? Required food requires backstory and sympathy. Delivering a bomb requires less backstory and a great ending with a big explosion and a clap. So that's how it's going to go. Time changes are that way. So delivering food requires backstory and sympathy. Delivers a bomb. I'll type this out so I can get back to you here in a moment. I got a question. How's the writing? I have to ask. Delivering food requires backstory and sympathy. Delivering a bomb requires less backstory and a great ending with a big explosion and a clap. So let's go back here and let's got to make sure we write into the fact that there's the argument between the bomb. For me, how's it going for me? Let me answer that. Breaks can be. I've heard stories about breaks. Never enough time. But it is good for time for a break, I must admit. But for this break in this story right here, we have a movie star, Lauren Hanks and William Pitt. Shout at the producer. I don't want the dialogue. I wrote that the camels are carrying bombs. In my draft of the script. And then we can shouts of okay, so shouts from, we'll say Lauren Hanks. Lauren Hanks, she wants the bomb. So shouts from Lauren Hanks about, I wrote the camels are carrying bombs in my draft of the script. And then I can say conflict with William Pitts. Because naturally these, you can just elaborate that these are, of course, the sons and daughters of movie actresses and actors. I think it's 2 T's, though. I'm just going to not even be shy about that. Okay, so Lauren Hanks, shouts from Lauren Hanks about, I wrote the camels are carrying bombs in my draft. Conflicting with William Pitt's shouts of, bombs are stupid. Bombs are dumb. Or dump. I want to be there. Bombs are dumb. My words, my script is about food. Delivering food. I wrote that. Okay. And we'll get some conflict that everybody wants their words because there's no one writer. There is a bunch of people thinking they're writers and they're not writers and doing a horrible job at it. So bombs are dumb. My script is about food. Delivering food. I wrote that. Phil's. That's a long sentence, but, welcome to Flash Fiction. Describe a whole shitload of things in the first paragraph to set up your conflict, your location, and everything. Movie star Lauren Hanks and William Pitt shout at the producer Johnny Flick of Camelot's. I wrote the Camels are carrying bombs in my draft of the script, conflicting with William Pitt's shout of bombs are dumb. My script is about food, delivering food. I wrote that. Phil's the movie studio producer's lot trailer before morning shoot on the movie set spread across the snow-dusted salt flats of Utah. Yeah, dear writer, dear reader, sorry for that sentence, but I'm going to make you read it aloud. So producer Johnny Flick shouts at both. The writers are striking on me. I'll be damned if I don't strike back on them. We don't need writers, but we need one story. What's this one? So producer Johnny sips his coffee and looks at the dawn illuminating the crew while the crew sets up for the next scene of a herd of camels guided by a drone across the Afghan desert to deliver a dirty bomb into the camp of the leader of the Scimitar Nation. Because this is America. Hell yeah, we have this common mythical enemy right now in the Mideast that exists only in the desert and wants to kill only us for only specific reasons. Much like we want to kill them for very specific reasons. Sometimes we're more justified. Who knows? That's what happens when you start killing things. It makes it really murky on who's right and wrong when everyone's wrong. Murder basically is that way. Justifiable? No, the conversation. Inside of this, they're not going that deep. Fortunately, I don't have to go there with this story because I'm talking about two people who are not writers trying to write a story, and to get that level of actual ability, and not only your writing, but your mind, it takes practice. Just like acting would or producing a movie. I wouldn't expect a writer to go out there and act, and I wouldn't expect a producer to be able to go out there and act or write. Unless it's I think some producers do, a producer-writer. But anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this story. Camels guided by a drone across the Afghan desert deliver a dirty bomb into the leader of the Scimitar Nation. We got a good story. Trust me. Deliver a bomb, a dirty bomb, or food. Or food into the camp of the leader of the Scimitar Nation. Oh, wait. Let's have the or there, because I'm going to still leave it up in the air, because they don't know yet. Or deliver a dirty bomb into the leader, or deliver. It's in my contract. The writers are going to have it in the contract, or the actors are going to have it in the contract to be able to have final say. The producer did that. Into the camp of the leader of the Scimitar Nation, or deliver food to the refugees camped deep in the mountains. Okay. We got a good story. It doesn't matter if it's bombs or food. Let's go bombs. And this is not actually ever going to be finished as an argument. I think it's just going to go on and on. All right, so let's delve into this. This is the Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. So we got the stars, the two actors, and then we've got the Empire being the producer striking back against the writers, and this is the result. Producer Johnny Flick shouts at both. The writers are on strike, are striking on me. I'll be damned if I strike back on them. Bombs? Says Johnny. John. I gotta have both names too, because you ain't gonna just like, if you're a movie star, your name is your well, fucking everything. It's your, it's your lead in. I don't think when you're an actor, so you're gonna want your name. So I gotta say the full name every time. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I'm not gonna start writing Johnny. I gotta have Johnny Flick the entire time. I gotta have, who the hell is the other person? No, not Johnny Flick. Bomb says Johnny Flick. That's not be Johnny Flick's time. It would be William Pitt. Thrust, and I gotta have some like justification. They gotta get like, I gotta show the emotions in these people writing about wanting to be able to write this. And then, I mean, the subplot of the movie is also about an empire striking back. The empire being America, striking back against something that's in another country. In this case, I don't need to seem like America is like the dark side on. They're not. I'm not going there. I don't believe that. But at the same time, within the confines of the story and the sub-story, it all lines. So we have empire representation both in the meta as well as in the actual story. And just for future generations, I don't believe America is the evil empire, because, well, we all have to get beyond good and evil to have an actual clear understanding of why people do things. It's not a binary world. So William Pitt thrusts. Bomb, says William Pitt, thrusting his chest, his arms into the air, and cocking his head back. His head back, expanding his glare, his goggle, expanding the glare of his goggling eyes. Not googling, goggling. Eyes open like that, like goggles, goggling eyes. Bomb says William Pitt's thrusting. I need a comma right there. Make people who, I think, yeah, that works. And then just a few words. Food. He slams a fist on the desk. I wrote food. Leans over the desk. Focusing his glare on the producer. His glare inches from the producer's face. I'll use the producer. No, I'm just going to say the producer. Now I can go nameless for a producer. I mean, I do look, when I roll credits, I always enjoy seeing who produced the dang thing. Just because it gives an indication at least where the money flows. Always know who's paying for a thing, whether it's a movie or a United States Supreme Court justice, is my hope in life. So at least know who's supporting the idea and who's motivating the idea. Leans over the desk, focusing his glare inches from the producer's face. It's in my contract. That if there's a writer's strike, I get it right. Who laughs? It would be, what's the actress? Lauren Hanks. Lauren Hanks laughs and sets and unfolds her contract before both William Pitt and the producer. I mean, I've thrown the name out. I might as well say Johnny Flick. Producer Johnny Flick. Hi, I'm producer Johnny Flick. I like to say that a lot. I want to say my name third person. Read line 5. I guess they should be able to read dialogue. William Pitt, they read line 5. And Johnny Flick and William Pitt says bullshit. Spraying spittle on Johnny, on the producer's face. He walks circles with arms raised, saying, he raises arms. This is making me actually do something I don't like to do, is what was write about writers, or write about reading, or write about a book. Those are always boring stories to me, yet I find myself doing it right now. The red line is 5, and William Pitt says, that's bullshit. Spraying spittle on the producer. He raises arms. The red line, read line 5. They read line 5. I need a Y right there. Why? They read line 5, and William Pitt says that's bullshit. Spraying spittle on the producer's face. He raises arms. What is final say? What the hell is final say? It means we have bombs. In the final script. After delays and after the Johnny pays the writers, I like that. Maybe, this could be the ultimate confusion here. I don't need to have, this is the conflict, right? So I got 25 minutes. I think I'm going to be able to get this. Yeah. All right, let's pour the coffee. And for the final 25 minutes, have a warm cup of Joe. To breathe life into my mind. Or rather, warmth. I guess it'd be spread the warmth of intelligence. I don't know. Breathe. It doesn't have breath. It does have some warmth. Energize my mind, maybe. Focus my mind. Block my mind from thinking it's tired. That's effectively what you're doing. Lie to my mind. I suppose that's what you're doing when you're drinking coffee. You're lying to your mind, or you're allowing your mind to lie to itself, or not even know. And if I took my mind out of my body, I'd be different. What the hell is final? What the hell is a final say? I gotta case that in the final script. It means we have bombs, says Lauren. Smiles, Lauren. Nah, she ain't gonna gloat, says Lauren Hanks. It means, says Lauren Hanks, we have the camels are hauling we already rewrote and negotiated that we're using horses, we're using camels instead of horses or dino dogs. She glares at William Pitt. You got camels. I get bombs. I get to write. I get to write that story. I like that. This is good. All right, so now I got to negotiate as a producer and maybe have like a paragraph summary of how bad things go. I think. I'll say, this is good, says Johnny. There we go. Johnny Flick. I don't know. I'm gonna have the H. I think you gotta have the H if you can have the double N typically. For Johnny. Johnny Flick. Johnny Flick says, Johnny Flick. Standing, clapping. Johnny Flick stands. Clapping hands. Clasping hands. Delivering food requires backstory and sympathy. Delivering a bomb requires less backstory and a great ending with a big explosion and a clap. Okay, now William's going to think that they're a writer now and probably going to be like, hey, what time do we have? We got 20 minutes. I guess I can have the door to the producer trailer clicks closed and Johnny Flick flips open their phone. He has a flip phone now. And calls negotiating. Calls his lawyers, telling them calls the lawyers negotiating with the Writers Guild of America. I think it's the Writers Guild of America telling them we should pay the writers. I mean, I guess I could make this about AI, but I want to make this more about people. I don't think anyone's sophisticated. I mean, they could try. God, you're going to waste a lot of life. Some quality assurance program, I think is going to come. So this is good. Johnny Flick stands, clasping hand. Delivering food requires backstory and sympathy to deliver. It costs money and good writers. Delivering a bomb requires less backstory and a great ending with a big explosion and a clap. He claps hands and smiles. I mean, I could end it right here. Let's see. So, the Empire Strikes Back. Or tries to. I guess they win at the end, though. And this is them striking back. If it's food, I quit. And that's another thing. Like, I would never hire. I mean, it'd be hard to, unless they wrote it. If they wrote the screenplay and wanted to act in it, I suppose you could find a director that wanted to direct that if it was a good script. But at the same time, if you had some sort of two actors wanting to chain all their script, you're going to want one's going to always want to be the main character, of course. It's food. So you'd have potentially be threatened of the main actor not being part of the movie and walking. It sounds like an insurance problem, but that's not what I'm going here. So I'm just trying to get into the motive of this person leaving the trailer. If it's food, smirks William Pitt, I quit. And I'll take the story. I'll take my story. He points to chest. He glares at Lauren Hanks on the way out. Johnny Flick sighs. Well, as who? William Lauren Hanks. As while I want time. I don't want while Lauren Hanks grins. Bombs it is. See you on set. I think I gotta have like a panorama of what it looks like and how stupid the story is, and then Johnny Flick is gonna lose. It should be like the Empire tries to strike back. I guess they did for a moment, right? I mean, I think. Okay, now I got 14 minutes. I just got to think of a ridiculous plot. I've tried to at least. What am I doing here? I want to cancel that. Magic keys that do things. Also known as a typewriter. The door to the producer's trailer clicks closed. Grins. As she grins and walks to the door. Bombs it is. See you on set. The door of the producer's trailer clicks closed. Outside. Crews program a drone to herd animatronic in camel suits because they don't have any other jobs. So actors have to play camels. What's the name of this again? Oh man, I got 13 minutes left. I mean, I got a story. It's decent enough, but I want to try to end it a little bit better. It sounds ridiculous as it is. Sips his coffee in the Afghan desert. Deliver a dirty bomb into a camp of a leader of Scimitar Nation, or deliver food. They don't know yet. What's the name? I need a name for this damn movie. I have it, I thought. And the bug about, it's called Johnny Flick of Camel and the Bug. That's not the working title. That is the title. Oops, I copied and pasted the wrong place, but that's fine. I can get rid of this. So it's not in the way. I got 12 minutes left, so let's try to at least outside the crew. Let's refresh what it is. What are those? What happened to the room? Well, it's set up to staged video game flash fiction. Atari 2600 manuals and Atari 2600 catalogs. And a couple of Atari 2600 boxes for the Atari 2600 video games. Every Thursday, new stage, different stage for this. So I got to think of a flash fiction story, and I got 11 minutes left to finish it, based upon an Atari 2600 game that you see on the screen. So the door to the producer's trailer clicks close. Outside would be the crew. Outside the scene of the movie. And I got to read this aloud, so I got to leave time for that. So let's just see if I can at least make this movie seem so horribly written that people understand that why you need writers and how the Empire producers are striking back. Outside to the scene of the movie, the camel and the bug. What's so ridiculous? Outside the crew. I need just one ridiculous thing. Outside the crew adds the AI trapped. No, it's got to be like the nano camels, the nano. So I got to throw some ridiculous shit into this, just so how badly the idea is. So outside the crew sets up the nano camel able to shoot poison spit from its mouth. A crew member flies the drone that guides the camel, along with the herd of real camels. And then Johnny stares long and hard at the melting snow, at the spray painted white desert floor. And what's one more ridiculous thing? It'd be like, I got 9 minutes left. I want to be able to read this out loud. For the video game Flash Fiction ending and finale, we got Johnny stares at the spray painted white desert to hide the scene's shocking surprise that, what is it going to be? That what would I call them? The scimitars some really shitty, kind of a little bit racist name that a bad writer would throw out there. What I call them? Scimitar Nation. Yes. Scimitar Nation. Shocking surprise, Scimitar Nation has an invisibility cloak. Boom. Okay, I don't know if that's going to work out. Then Johnny sighs again, calls his lawyers. And I got to probably pinpoint who put this into it. Wait. I got to show one more negotiation. One more is, if it's food, smirks Johnny Pitt, I quit. Just because I got to name it. Just because I named the enemy. It's a made up thing. Mongolian nation? Maybe. Scimitar, I'm like, it's shitty written. All right, with 7 minutes left, I think I'm going to do good for this right here. I'm going to turn off the time so we don't get the buzzer. I don't think I can make this any better right now, at least. Of course, I'm going to publish this. I do have if you're interested, this book. It's on Amazon. It's called Video Game Flash Fiction. It was about 25 of the first 30. Pretty cheap. I don't look to make money off it. I look to push it. This story will be edited, but let's read this story aloud. Okay. Oh boy. All right, this is Video Game Flash Fiction inspired by the Atari 2600 game Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Movie star Lauren Hanks and William Pitt shout at the producer Johnny Flick of Camel and the Bug about whose dialogue should be included into the story after the Writers Guild of America went on strike. Shouts from Lauren Hanks about, I wrote the camels are carrying bombs in my draft of the script, conflicted with William Pitt's shouts of, bombs are dumb. My script is about food. Delivering food. I wrote that. Filling the movie studio's producer's trailer before the morning shoot on the movie set spread across the snow-dusted salt flats of Utah. Producer Johnny Flick shouts at both, the writers are on striking on me. I'll be damned if I don't strike back on them. We don't need writers. Producer Johnny sips his coffee and looks at the dawn illuminating the crew while the crew sets up the next scene of a herd of camels guided by a drone across the Afghan desert to deliver a dirty bomb into the camp of the leader of the Scimitar Nation or deliver food to refugees camped deep in the mountains. Bombs. Bombs, says William Pitt, thrusting his arms and cocking his head back, expanding to a glare goggling eyes. Food! He slams a fist on the desk, leans over the desk, focusing his glare inches from the producer's face. It's in my contract that if there's a writer strike, I get to do rewrites. Lauren Hanks laughs and unfolds her contract before both William Pitt and producer Johnny Flick read line 5. They read line 5. And William Pitt says, that's bullshit, spraying spittle on the producer's face. He raises arms. What the hell is final say in the final script? It means, says Lauren Hanks, the camels are hauling bombs. We are already rewrote and negotiated that we're using camels instead of horses or dino dogs. He glares at William Pitt. Your camels, I get bombs. Get to rewrite that. This is good. Johnny Flick stands, clasping hands. Delivering food requires backstory and sympathy. That costs money and writers. Delivering a bomb requires less backstory and a great ending and a big explosion and a clap. He clasps hands and smiles. If it's food, smirks William Pitt, I quit. Just because I name the enemy, he points to chess, and I'll take my story and write it how it should be. He glares at Lauren Hanks on the way out of the trailer. Johnny Flick sighs while Lauren Hanks grins and walks to the door. Bombs it is. See you on the set. The door to the producer's trailer clicks closed. Outside, the crew sets up the nano camel, able to shoot poison spit from its mouth. A crew flies the drone and guides the camel along with a herd of real camels. Johnny stares at the spray-painted white desert to hide the scene of shocking surprise that the Scimitar Nation has an invisible cloak. Johnny Flick sighs again, calls his lawyers, negotiating with the Writers Guild of America, telling them, we should pay the writers. Well, that was 90 minutes of video game flash fiction. And we are at time, and we are done. Let me go through the process that we go through is at least add this story to the stories and commit the story into my Git repo. Write the story. There it goes. We're going to clear this, and then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take this game out. Empire Strikes Back, and we'll put on the stack of games that have been wrote. And that's Video Game Flash Fiction for the day, every Thursday. Check out the book if you're there. Fun times. Kind of goofy. Good talking with you. The Holy Cow.